Hey, LCS fans, I'm here to talk to you about our roster and what we've been doing out in LCS in preparation for the 2018 season. It's been a while since I've been out here to talk to you. I think the last one was for our coach for LCS, which obviously was a big change for us. And since then we've had it's end of year. We got budgeting, planning for 2018, wrapping up finances from 2017, and of course putting the roster together. So it's been absolutely crazy in the best possible way. It's this honestly fun and exciting time of putting together what will be the future of our organization in League of Legends. And I want to talk to you a bit about what we did, why we did, etc. So this was a kind of a big shift for us. Obviously, for the first time, we weren't going to have the same five players. I believe I heard the stat that we have the longest grouping of five players in the history of the EULCS. No one's ever had those same five players for such a long period of time. And obviously, we made a pretty drastic change. For those of you that haven't heard the full roster, it's now Odoamne in the top lane, Xerxes in the jungle, Niski in mid lane, and then Kabe and Kasing in the bot lane. And so Kabe is obviously the only returning member. We've got players from various different organizations, and some have played together before, most have not, and it's going to be really, really interesting. Lots of high caliber players here of different types. And lots of potential, but now it's up to Peter and his team to help realize that and put this together into a cohesive unit. Anybody who's followed any sort of sport, esports or not, over the years knows that you can't just slap some players together and go, hey, he's good, she's good, etc., and it's going to be a good team. It just doesn't work like that. There's lots of factors that go into it. And so even when selecting these five players, we spent hours upon hours discussing not just how good certain players were, but how they fit together, what the style of the team would be, how Peter builds his philosophy around coaching, and how that would all come together. One of the big things for us is that we've had some pretty good success in League of Legends. Only 2 years, and we went to the World Championship in the first year. We made European finals, and that's a pretty high success, I think, for League of Legends, considering the short time frame. And now we are coming into our first big change. It's really important for us to be able to maintain that caliber and not drop into the non-playoff realm, non-competing for Worlds. Worlds is a goal for us, and we've set that out at the beginning when we sat down, myself, Peter, and then Grant, our operations manager, and Kyle, our general manager, and we kind of mapped this out and said, we need to be competitive, and we want to be competitive. So we said, how do we do that, knowing that some of our players are going to go other places for new opportunities? Some we just need a change in the team. We knew that the dynamic was kind of at its peak of where it was going to go, and I think it was healthy for both the players and the team to do some kind of a shift. We didn't know how drastic it would be, honestly. We thought it could have been maybe 3, could have been 2. We didn't know it would be 4 until the time came. And then as we were putting this team together, it all kind of worked its way together in a really organic way. So you have some really, I'd say really interesting pieces to this puzzle, in that we have these younger players in Xerxes and Niski that are able to grow while having some really solid veterans leadership around them. So if you start in top lane with Odoamne, he's been to Worlds, very far into Worlds, has tons of top caliber experience through playoffs many, many years, and has that ability to really anchor a team, right? He's not going to demand the team play around him, but can be that guy that you play around if necessary. So just a really efficient, high quality, high caliber player. What's really great about that is when you pair your jungler, someone like Xerxes, who's young, exciting, a lot of talent, it's going to give him some room to grow and some room to learn, especially for someone who's seen as much as he has as Odoamne. So excited for that pairing. I also think then even the Xerxes and Niski pairing is really interesting, because together they're going to learn how to take their game to the next level together, and that jungle mid synergy is really important as well. So between Peter, who's very jungle focused coach, has a lot of experience working with junglers, having someone young, ambitious, exciting like Xerxes, who had some really clear moments of seeing his potential in 2017. I think that's going to be really key for our team. Obviously, again, in mid lane and Niski, anybody that watched any LCS knows that he was, for a one split rookie, absolutely crushing it in North America. He basically should have won Rookie of the Year. You had Mike Young's heroics at the end that swayed some of the voting because it was all at the end and it was very exciting. But he did it for a couple weeks, and Niski every single week was competing against these top mid laners. So we think that with now some more veterans around him at high caliber, like we talked about, and the coaching of Peter and just more time to blossom, he's going to have great success. Kabe, I mean, not much to say there, right? Like, he continued to develop, continued to show his potential throughout the last 2 years playing with us. And he, when put in positions to succeed, has shown he can be an absolutely top tier AD carry in the world. He can carry hard. He can play a multitude of champions in different styles. And I really, I hope to continue to see him be part of our organization for a long time, because I think we have, a franchise player in him for the long term, and that's why we brought him back. We're really excited about that. And then finally, Kasing. And anybody who has only been following League of Legends for a short time might not have heard his name or know that he was in Challenger last year, but what they may not know is that Kasing is, a really top caliber player in Europe, having performed in Worlds and gone far in playoffs over the years. He's an older, more experienced player, which balanced with Kabe, who's kind of in the middle of his career, and some of these younger talent in the mid and jungle. We again have these kind of anchors of these really experienced players in Ottawame and in Kasing. I think as I reflect back on team building, it's something that I think a lot about because it's one of the most critical roles of my job. I think about how the dynamics of putting young talent with experienced talent and what level of interaction you put, because you have more veterans than rookies, or more rookies than veterans, or different types of vocal leaders in those groups. You have people who are naturally leaders, but they're young, or people who are naturally quiet, but they're more experienced, and how you build that dynamic so that people can succeed. I think that this team dynamic really fits that very, very well. Kabe and Kasing make a really strong bot lane together. They really play well together and fit each other's strengths and weaknesses. And I think this is that time when Kabe is going to be able to be more of a focal point and really, be up to his potential on a daily basis. We saw a lot of that last year, and I'm excited to see it keep going. So that's it for the roster for right now. They're going into boot camp on Tuesday of next week. Or I guess this week it's Sunday. So they're going to Tuesday. They'll be going to boot camp, start grinding it out, getting things sorted. Then they'll go home for the holidays and then come back out and kick it into gear. And I think everyone's really excited because we are at this point where it's a Splyce LCS 2.0, right? It's the first time we've done that. In other games, we've done it, over a period of time, but we're the same basically for 2 years, except for one small roster change in that time. And this is a big moment for us, and we believe we have the roster in the future. Everyone's on long-term contracts, so this is not going to be a one-year endeavor. We're investing in the future, and we can see that this team is one that should be competing top 3, qualifying for Worlds, going to very deep runs in the playoffs in the near future, meaning in 2018. So would love to hear your comments, questions. Please do so. I'm happy to talk about the roster. I'm happy to talk about what our expectations are if you want to ask on Twitter in the comments and stuff. So thanks for your support, and looking forward to hopefully seeing you at a game in 2018, because I know I'll be there.